Yo, we live. You're now listening to Volume 78 of the Bucket Up Podcast. Here with your boy Ty Doyle, aka TJ Buttersauce, aka Ty Lante, aka your mom called me over to take a quick nap. And I'm here as always with the kid, the homie JB. Was good.
Boom, boom, boom. Living good, man. It's the kid JB. Could have been right last week. Mr. Told You So. Not because I'm always right, but when I am right, I'm like, hey, I told you so. March Madness is in the house, bro. Bracketology. I'm not a scientist, but I know my college b-ball. And
Hey,
catch me in the high rankings at your neighborly office pool, your friendly pool, and, out here in the Sweet 16 looking
hey.
good, bro. But beyond that, happy to be here. This is volume 7-8. Why is 6 afraid? Because 7-8 and not 7-8-9. We'll get to that next week. But this week it is Bucket Up, volume 78. What's good, bro?
What's up, bro? Let's call you JB, and the B is for brackets. I feel you, bro.
The B is for brackets and breakfast.
Where I'm here, I'm chilling. Cooled out this weekend. I feel fulfilled right now. Got a lot of my chores and shit done beforehand. It's early on a Sunday. Now, you kind of scrambling late to do your shit on Sundays usually.
Yeah, scrambled eggs and shit.
We're for real. So yeah, I'm feeling fulfilled and I'm ready to get this shit going. How was your weekend, bro?
Weekend was cool, man. As often, I got my broadcast on Saturdays, so Friday I tend to lay low. Shouts to Jeopardy. They've been on Netflix, so we've been running that back. It's kind of fun to play trivia at the crib. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, Friday, man, what did I do? Ended up going to see that movie Us.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll touch on that when we get to it. But that was Friday night, man. What's funny is Joelle, shouts to Joelle, got her down to like a science, obviously, because I know this chick, right? She was like, "Can we eat before the movie?" And I was kind of on that tip too, and we stalled and kind of delayed, and then it came to movie time, right? And damn well knowing we got caught trying to buy children tickets
again.
No, that one time.
Oh yeah.
So when it came time to buy tickets, I looked at Joelle and she like gave me that look like you better choose adult, you know.
Like I feel like it wouldn't have worked anyway for like a rated R film anyway.
So it was mad funny because then I was like, yo, we're getting popcorn and soda and you're getting french fries because I know how you act. You're hungry and you want french fries. And she's like, no, I don't. I was like, yes, you do. So I made her get the french fries. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? She was perfectly fine after the french fries.
Yeah, see?
So we all good. She was perfectly fine before, but she'll admit she was like, yeah, I'm cooler when I have french fries. But anyway, I think most people are happy when they eat. But anyway.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how it is.
True. So yeah, man, Friday we went to go see Us. And then last night, man, shouts to the AZCFL. I'm the weekly broadcaster for them. And what's funny, dude, is another blowout, 62-0. But it was cool because there was a team from Denver that came out. So shouts to Lance and Turned Up TV. He helped promote some of it. But yeah, man, it was funny because you know how I get lit up in the comments and people just like hate on the broadcasters.
Oh, that happened?
Well, it happens every week, right? But it's whatever. But what's funny is some weeks they're like, man, this guy's boring. He doesn't talk enough, blah, blah, blah. And then last night I had a bunch of interviews because my broadcaster bailed on me. So I was just doing interviews. And when you do an interview, you have to like talk and ask the people questions and all that shit.
Right.
And then in the comments, people were like, man, this guy talks too much. It's like, all right, man, I can't win with y'all, you know?
Yeah, that's funny.
So the people that matter, though, the coaches and stuff who said that they like what I'm doing. So shouts to them.
There you go.
But yeah, that was Saturday. Then today we went and got breakfast. And now I'm trying to fight off a food comment, bro. Like they say to keep moving, but it's hard to. So
where'd you get it for breakfast? Went to Denny's?
Nah, we went to this place called Bisbee Brunch.
Okay.
And I got myself some weird ass like chicken fried sausage patty.
Oh, okay.
And then I dipped that shit in country gravy because I'm a country boy.
Country boy.
You know what I'm saying? That's me. Nah. But yo, funny story real quick is yesterday you know how I got driving anxiety. You know how I have social anxiety. I was driving to the stadium that's already 45 minutes away from my house, but it is what it is. There was a bunch of traffic because I guess there was a concert last night at the Glendale Stadium or the Cardinal Stadium or whatever. So there was like some redirection and detours, and it was frustrating because I was already running somewhat late to my game, and then it just kept taking me longer and longer. And at one point, the cops were like, "Hey, just drive through this patch of this parking lot." And it ended up being like the paying parking lot. So I had to explain to the lady like, "Hey, I'm actually not going to this concert. I'm trying to leave. This is the only way I can get out." And she was like, are you sure? All this stuff. And I was like, yes, I don't want to go to this concert. Trust me. And then, yeah. But I was just laughing, man, because I was like, I would get caught up in traffic at a country concert,
Damn, they're like thinking like, bro, why would I come to this concert halfway through?
Right. So,
you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So then that was that. But yeah, man, getting to it. I guess we'll start off a little movie review. You ended up seeing Us on Saturday?
Yeah. I was on the fence about it. Actually, it's funny because I had so many people ask me to go see it. Like, it was fun. I had somebody in the carpool was like, "Yo, we should go see it," because he fucked with Jordan Peele and Get Out and stuff. But I had remembered Jordan Peele saying that it was mostly a horror film and it wasn't like, that's what it was. And that just stuck with me. I'm like, well, if it's just a regular horror film, like, I don't really care too much about it. But then obviously, a lot of other people asked, and I was telling them the same thing. I was on the fence about it. I'm really not usually a horror guy. Like, I'll go see a slasher every now and then, but like if it's like supernatural shit, I'm not really usually on that shit. You know what I mean? And
right.
So I was like, I don't know. And then, you told me that it was more like, it did have the hidden meanings in it. So I'm like, all right, maybe I should go see it. It had got like 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes. And so I was like, yeah, I'll go check it out. Even though I saw like on like Twitter and stuff, like a lot of people were it had some mixed reviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people were confused
amongst the people. So like what we're gonna do though is we're gonna give y'all like just like a surface level review, kind of just recommend it if we want to, and then we'll go into spoilers. And then obviously if you don't want to hear the spoilers, you can just skip that part. And then I'll make sure I put in the description where to skip that and like when to go by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do suggest seeing the movie.
Yeah, no. So what is your like regular review, not spoiler?
So non-spoiler review, I actually think it was a marketing and just like a tactic by Jordan Peele to get people to go see the movie. Because I think, and don't quote me on this, he was saying how a lot of people were hitting him up and being like, "Oh, is this just a Get Out 2? Is just a Get Out 2?" And he was like, "No, man, it's a separate movie and it's not even like that," just to kind of swore off people. And then eventually he was just like, yeah, it's just a simple horror movie. And people were kind of like, well, I'm going to be a judge of myself. I'll find out. I'm going to find out on my own. He's like, oh, yeah, go ahead, do that. And at the end of the day, movie makers want people to obviously enjoy their stuff, but they want people to go watch it,
Right, true.
And not rule it out just off jump like, oh, it's a horror, I don't like it, or it's not this. I'll be the judge. Kind of like reverse psychology,
Right.
But yeah, man, getting to it, I thought, I was like, there's no way he made such a blockbuster and new dynamic with Get Out that he wouldn't implement that same formula, right?
Right.
And it was kind of, 80% towards the same formula. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't call it a horror. I think it was more of a social thriller, conceptual horror. I don't fucking know. It's not supernatural, and it wasn't anything like that, but it's not The Ring. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Yeah, so going into it without a spoiler, I will say
wait, you about to spoil?
Without a spoiler.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think it was really good, man. Lupita is a great actress. I forgot that was the dude from Black Panther. He was M'Baku.
Yeah, M'Baku.
Who I liked a lot. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a one of those typical family goes away movie on a vacation movie and something bad happens. But yeah, with that being said, it's a Jordan Peele movie, so it gave you like some thought provoking. For people that haven't seen Get Out, I would equate Jordan Peele's movies kind of like a Black Mirror episode in the sense that like he throws in like these Twilight Zone twists and stuff like that. But yeah, I give it 4 out of 5 bucket hats. And I can't really speak on it without spoiling it. So
okay, yeah, no, I'll go into my spoiler and then or my non-spoiler review, and then we can go into spoilers.
Yeah.
So going into it, like you said, I thought it was just gonna be a horror, and now I'm thinking about it because people were trying to break down his trailers back when the first trailer dropped, and like, oh, this might mean this and this and that. And he was kind of like, hey, you know what I mean? Relax, it's more just like a horror movie. But I think it's because I think what he did come out and say was that it wasn't about race this time. Like that was kind of like the main, but he didn't want to like kind of give away exactly what it was about. But he was saying like this one isn't about race at all. You know what I mean? So don't worry about it like in terms of that. But like going to see the movie, I would say I don't know. I definitely enjoyed most of it. There was like a lot of good parts. In terms, there's a lot of funny parts, which is I think that happened in Get Out. There was a bunch of like random funny parts that you kind of still laughed at, which makes sense because Jordan Peele still comes from like a comedian background.
And also you need to throw like humor is realistic. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna laugh in situations, so you have to provide some sort of funny part.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, there was a bunch of funny moments that made sense. And that was cool. That if you're looking like in terms of like classic like horror jump, like obviously you get all that in there, you know, like there. I mean, even though it's not like the typical horror movie, like it was still scary at points, even though it was more of a thriller. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I mean, obviously. But yeah, I would say at the end of the movie though, like I was super confused. So I actually know people who want to go see this movie who haven't saw Get Out. I definitely wouldn't go see this movie if you haven't seen Get Out. That seems
right.
Crazy.
Yeah. You're setting yourself up for mad confusion.
Are you gonna be like in it? Like I feel like, and Get Out was more kind of like straightforward than this one. This one is kind of like, you know what I mean? You have to bridge a lot of the gaps on this yourself. You know what I mean?
Right, and for those that didn't see Get Out, it's really, I mean, for those that did see Get Out, they know kind of the twist that Jordan Peele did that he's like, you know, you could kind of, that I kind of expected it, was waiting on in this movie, and it came true, so that was cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, for me, I think this is definitely one of those movies that you have to see a bunch of times, like a couple times to kind of see if you can miss some stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Catch it, especially once you like. No, not a spoiler. Once you run through it and you kind of get some of the revelations of the movie, like watching it a second time probably give you a crazier perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't want to go back to the theater.
No, I got you. I might go see it again this weekend. I don't know.
I will say what's funny is, you know how I'm usually like Mr. like, yo, don't talk through the movie. Everybody in the theater was kind of vibing and laughing and shit, and like, so I was like, all right, y'all rock. I don't give a fuck.
the people next to it were talking too, because I think there were just points where they're like, what?
I will say, we had assigned seating, you know, and we look at our tickets and people were sitting in our seats.
And, to get them up out of there.
Well, I didn't say anything. We just walked up to our seats, and before we had a chance for anything, they just looked at each other and said shit, and got up and ran away.
Yeah, they just knew.
We're like, you're good, guys. It's fine. The people next to me started falling asleep at some point. I was like, they don't get it.
Sometimes that just happens. Motherfuckers just be tired. Right. So I have somebody who's definitely falling asleep.
I've fallen. Yeah, I mean, usually whatever depends, but
it actually happened this week. I went to. This is kind of a tangent, but I guess this is another movie review. Before we go and spoil us, I saw with Katie because she just wanted to. That movie, Is It Romantic? Was it? Is it romantic? Yeah, Is It Romantic? You know what movie that is?
No, I haven't heard of that.
The chick Rebel Wilson from she played Fat Amy in what's it called? The lip singing movies.
Oh, Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect, not lip syncing, but you know what I mean. Acapella movies, yeah, she played that, and it's like a rom com to try to subvert a lot of the shit that regular rom coms are. You know what I mean? But I was falling asleep during that movie, and I think it was more because I was tired. Not that the movie was actually like super terrible, even though it really wasn't like crazy good. But I mean, if you want to go see that, if you fuck with rom coms for some reason,
There was I don't know if you saw the preview for it, but Issa's got a movie coming out where
oh yeah, called Little.
it's like Freaky Friday.
Yeah, my favorite. I saw the
When I
preview.
was like 17 again. Yeah.
Right, the preview I saw was like, oh, like there's some white people shit. Black people don't got the time.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
I was laughing. But yeah, I guess we can. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I guess I would give us kind of like 3 out of 5 bucket hats. I don't know if I said that already. I would say just check it out so you can kind of form your own opinion on it. You know what I mean? But I was definitely confused until I like read about it later.
All right. Well, I think I have a good handle on it. So ask me some questions and I'll fill you in.
All right. So this is the point where we're gonna get into the specific spoilers.
Spoiler alert!
If you do not want to have spoilers for us, do not listen. If you don't care for some reason, then cool.
And we got some fire content coming up after, man. You know we get these movie reviews off, but we got some fire shit to make your brain go, what? So we'll see y'all after for those that not listening to this part. See y'all soon.
All right, cool. So, all right. So watching the movie, I could definitely tell that the Lupita thing at the end, I was kind of getting an inkling that like they had switched.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was like, even still, I kind of was like, I still don't get what was happening and what any of it meant.
All right.
So like I got that it was like they were clones down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the rabbits were used because like rabbits are usually the ones that people like clone and they had to eat the rabbits. But I mean, obviously, to me, I feel like if you think too hard about the plot, some of it starts to fall apart. But like, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So Lupita, there was a government experiment that they cloned people to see if they could control the people up top with the people below, right? And that's what they started off in the beginning, talking about how the U.S. has millions of tunnels underground,
Yeah, nobody knows what they're for, right?
Right. So they were setting you up for that. And then what they were implying was that like at the end, the twist was that like Lupita was switched as a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then because they switched, real Lupita was underground for her whole life, and she was the only one that could speak when the rest of them couldn't talk. So that's how she got all of them to do the Chain of America, hands across America thing, right?
Right.
The reasoning, and that's why she was so sensitive to the kids and stuff, because she knew that was like her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end, we find out that the real Lupita, Red, has been underground this whole time. And the reason why her voice is the way it is because she got choked out from the fake Lupita.
Right, crushed her windpipe or something.
Yeah, crushed her windpipe. And that's kind of what it was all like revenge, because she had to spend her whole life underground eating cold rabbits, cutting her hands and stuff so it was just a revenge movie. She was trying to get back at Lupita for switching, her with underground above ground.
Right, and then she just, she used all the other people.
I think the message behind that, not with race, I think it was with social class and like nationalities and how we treat people in America. At one point they asked, well, who are you people or whatever? And Red said, we're Americans, right?
Right.
And I think it was implying that there's other countries that we treat below us, metaphorically, and we forget that they're humans and they have rights to things that we're entitled to.
Right.
And they said that kind of without, throughout that they're humans too, and they have the right to have nice, shiny things, and they should be able to have, good meals. And that's kind of what we do to inferior countries that we feel that are inferior to us,
right, or even like people that we treat within the country as like second-class citizens.
Exactly. So The things that I think were shaky with that whole logic is a couple things. Why wouldn't Lupita just, when they finally saw each other, her just confess what happened? You know, like, yo, your mom lied and switched us when we were kids. You know, that was
Right.
that's one. Two, the whole movie is avoided if homegirl at the carnival, the dad just watches better attention to her and she doesn't walk off.
True.
That's two. Three, the entire movie is avoided and kind of shaky because they just got done implying that homegirl couldn't find the exit because she kept bumping into the mirrors. But she somehow found the exit right after she ran into her clone.
Yeah.
And like that part was stupid. So I hate movies. Then they're like, "Oh, you're thinking about it too much." Kind of like when I like call out Star Wars shit, and they're like, "Dude, you're thinking about it too much." I'm like, "Well, if he's gonna make shit really realistic and make you think 1,000 ways, why is it wrong for me to think 1,001 ways?" You know?
No, I get it because I mean every movie has plot holes. There's no.
Uh,
I don't know if there's. It's pretty hard to make a movie without a plot hole.
but okay. So what other questions you had? I was confused at some shit, but then it kind of made sense. Like, I think the reason why the boy could control the other boy was because he was technically half underground. Because if fake Lupita had him with the real husband, then it was the baby was half, underground, half above ground human.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he could control him a little bit. That was the reason why when the kids died, Lupita was kind of sad because she knew that was her kids and tried to comfort them. Some of the hidden message. What's up?
I was about to say, yeah, that I mean, obviously that we're trying to hint at she was actually the one who was, supposed to be down there. I guess the tethered people is what they call them.
Yeah,
Because she was, the way she was killing people, she was screaming. You know what I mean? And yeah, the when she was like kind of showing them random affection for killing these people, like that she supposedly had never known. You know what I mean?
And they were making little hints about, about how if the underground people didn't know how to talk, they had to like learn and adapt to English, or I'm sorry, adapt to how they speak above ground. And that's kind of how we treat people that don't speak English, is like we feel like they have to speak English in this country, and they have to adapt. But above that, I think, remember the part when the song came on and she was trying to teach the son how to snap on the beat.
Right.
She was teaching herself how to do it. Because she was like and I remember, she was like asking, the kid where he learned the words. Because remember, she's like, don't say that bad word. Like, she was learning the words. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, I mean, but she had been around for 30, so I would imagine she learned a lot of that stuff.
Well, she did, but I'm saying like the snap. Yeah, I mean, but I think that was she did, but I think that was the things that Jordan Peele did to hint for us,
Right. I do think because I heard some other theory that was like, what, and I don't know for sure, but when what was I about to say? I was saying that the whole point that she's like pretty much normal-ish is like saying that it was like kind of like a hint at like you're kind of a product of your environment, you know what I mean? And that like, once she was out and able to be in the world, even though she started off like, weirder, she was able to like adapt and become more human like, whereas the real Lupita, who's for all intents and purposes is like an actual human, while she's down there, even though like she could talk and she could, they showed the dance montage and you could see that, I think you could see that she was the one doing the dances first, and then the Lupita above ground was like mirroring her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can, she was still weirder because she was living in this weird fucking underground thing where they're eating rabbits and everybody's like just mirroring everybody else's lives. So like, even though she was different and able to kind of make the uprising, like she still was like, had the weird movements. She still could barely like talk, because if you think about it, she was like, was she 6 or 7 or something like that?
Yeah.
9.
Right.
And, she didn't learn anything after that. That's why she was so fixated on the whole like Hands Across America. That was like the last thing she saw before she was like, swapped out or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a lot of plot holes. Like, why didn't she just leave? You know what I mean? When she, you know what I'm saying? After she got out the handcuffs,
Right.
she could like obviously I don't. I mean, she got knocked out and dragged down there, so maybe she's like she doesn't really know the way out. So that's a one way. Somebody was saying that because there's just like an elevator there, these people could have left the whole time. It's like, oh, when you think that you're second class, you kind of stay there. So it's not even though it seems easy to just go up, like it's not. You know what I mean? Because it's like a psychological thing. But like that's cool, and like you could tell that the other Lupita knew where to go because when she went down there, she knew exactly where to go. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
was
but
another hint that she kind of knew. But
that's another thing though. It's like the other Lupita. That why would they know? Do they go to that beach house every weekend to see if they're there? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
how
When
do they
you
just run up on you guys? You know?
right, it's like she already knew. So and then the other plot hole is like they took this long to plan to. I get it, like it would take because it seemed like there's way more people. If it's all the people in America clone down there, which is like it didn't seem that big, but if that's what it is, you know what I mean. Then obviously it would take a long to plant all those people getting out.
Right.
Sure, but at the same time, where the fuck did they get all these red jumpsuits? And where the hell did they get scissors?
And gloves and the jumpsuits fit different people's sizes. That shit was so stupid,
Like
dude.
she called up like and ordered them. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna need some red jumpsuits. Let me make sure I get these scissors with the horns on them."
Yeah, I mean, did you see the rock paper scissors thing? That was kind of
Yeah,
clever.
like, no, I get like I don't know what the glove is for.
That
Like, do
was
you
the
get
Michael
the?
Jackson thing.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean? I don't even know what
Well,
that's
they
supposed to
had
mean.
she had the T-shirt, the Michael Jackson Thriller T-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
okay.
also it was an ode to Freddy Krueger with the glove and the
Mm.
scissors. And
Where
then
the
there
hell
was
they get the gloves from?
dude, right? Yeah, that part was stupid. And then
Another thing somebody brought up is why did the white family come and they killed them motherfuckers super quick? And you know what I mean? Like, they just
yeah,
came out of the cut, swap, when it was done. Now,
right.
I know somebody said like maybe the way you can explain that is that it was never like once you get to the end, you're like it was never just like oh let's kill them to take your lives. It was the regular Lupita wanted revenge, so like that's why she was kind of taking her time with it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I was
the
laughing because
all right,
I was telling Joel, I was like, what if we had to fight? If I had to fight myself, bro, I'd fuck myself up. You know what I'm saying?
that doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you fighting yourself with yourself is dumb. Like you should have the advantage, right?
Imagine me fighting myself, and I'm like, yo, he's about to go watch the Yankees. We got 10 minutes.
Right,
Run.
right. You know what you're gonna do.
I will say there was another plot hole too. Is like if the dad was about just killing the other dad, why did he get him on a boat and drag him out to the water? It's
Right.
like
That's what I
nah.
was saying.
And
Like, I don't understand what.
why didn't he just stab him? You know?
And like the other son is playing with the other one, and like it was just like that stuff is like it didn't make a ton of sense. But again, if it was just about revenge, then you can kind of explain away a little bit that they wanted to toy with him first a little bit.
And if they're all superhuman like that, how come it seemed like their family was like, the Incredibles and the daughter could run, extremely fast and the son could like crawl and do all this crazy shit. It's like,
The
shouldn't
other
you
thing they
all have
didn't explain too, like, are these people like, yeah, are these people like super duper like strength or anything like that? Because like they were climbing up and doing all that shit, but then they die like regular humans. So I couldn't gauge whether or not they were
right.
actually special or not. It was
Yeah, so
confusing. Like that was confusing to me too.
right. So actually now the more I talk about it, yeah, I didn't like it that much, man.
Yeah,
There's just
I just wanted to know what the shit meant and like
there's just a
oh,
lot of questions.
another thing that somebody said is that because at the end, obviously the son realizes that like he kind of figures out that the mom is not like it must have been a swap or something. But
Right.
somebody was saying like they think that kid actually was swapped too at some point because he was being weird. There were a lot of hints to it. They're like, "Oh, where'd you learn these new words from?" Like, "Oh, how?" Like, you know what I mean? And like her telling him to get on beat was actually her teaching him how to fit in. You know what I mean? And then what was it when he was building a normal kid would build sandcastles on the beach, but he was building tunnels.
I'd build tunnels.
But I'm just saying, like, in that, like, obviously the people are in the tunnels, and like they came over like, well, your brother's weird, and she's just like, oh, he just has a hard time focusing, which is like just like how the mom is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was curious on when and why she would just swap out one kid. Like that's weird.
Right. So I don't know. Like
And
maybe it
how do
happened on
you?
another time they were there. But
Yeah,
again, like I
that's
don't
weird.
know. Somebody would know. And then the one girl said he was born in fire, so you know what I'm saying? She would know if the kids were swapped or not.
And then fuck, what was the other one that I was laughing about? Was
But why do you think he just wrote? Because he kind of realized it was her, and she realized that he realized, but he just threw his mask on. So I'm like, does that mean he's saying like, fuck it, like either way, you're my mom? You know what I mean? Like, or he was just like, I don't know what else I'm gonna do.
I
You
think the
know?
mask symbolized like hiding from the truth.
Maybe.
So he put the mask on and be like, oh, just like the kid that hid his face from the burn marks or whatever.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks, man, and I will say, shouts to Jordan Peele for making like his own like genre of movies now, though.
Right, and it's not like it's not like scary movies didn't already have. Like, there's some that have like ties to social commentary. Like if you watch was it the first Purge or whatever, like obviously it was the whole background of it was, I guess, spoiler since we're already spoiling this movie, was that like of course the first Purge would be in the hood, and you know what I'm saying, and of course they would do certain things to make sure that it went a certain way because they know people didn't care as much about poor people, black people. Like if you saw that movie, like you'd be like, oh, so like obviously there was a message behind it. I think there's a message behind all the purges, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't really watch or like most of them, but
Right. So I'm just saying, like, he's not the first person to put it like it. But again, I'm like, I don't know what all this shit mean. Like the Hands Across America thing. I'm thinking, they're wearing the red jumpsuits. Maybe it's like redlining. Like it's supposed to be like a symbol to that. But like that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to extrapolate all the social shit out of it. And I'm like, does that really bog down whether or not I like the movie or not? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Get Out. It was like you had the shit in there that was like cool, and the movie as a whole. Like if you just ignored all that stuff and just flowed with the movie, it was still fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Now that I think about it, I was like, yeah, there's some weird things. And then also like I don't like the idea of like, oh, whenever the people up top are doing, the people below are doing. So like when the people were on the roller coaster, the people just like had to stand there and pretend they were on a roller coaster.
Right. And it's like, wouldn't that hamper them planning shit?
Yeah,
Doing mirroring what everybody has,
exactly.
or like, wouldn't that fuck up the new Lupita's plan because you know what I'm saying? Like she would still have to mirror the stuff that the original person did downstairs.
And then I saw a tie, which I don't know, it may have been like a reach. Is like that's how Nazi, like Hitler took over power in Germany. Was like he spoke a voice that no one understood, just like all of them, didn't understand English, but she was the only one that spoke it.
Yeah.
So she barked orders based on that, and she was kind of like a leader or dictator.
Mm,
And her idea was a genocide, a bunch of people.
yeah.
So
I don't know. Again, those are the kind of like if you, I guess we'll wrap it up there because we did talk a decent amount about it. But if you watch the movie, and you got any like theories or questions or anything like that, like hit us up on some of the socials. I mean, careful don't be too spoilery, I guess. I mean, maybe hit us up in the DMs on Facebook or not Facebook. Can we get messages on Facebook?
yeah, fuck it, we out here, all platforms, baby.
Yeah, just DM us on Instagram or on Twitter or some shit with your theories. Let us know. And yeah, that's because we're obviously both are still a little confused about what the hell is going on. So there's that. But this is the end of the spoilers league part. You can come back.
We back, son. Yeah, we here for the all audience. But yeah, man, on the pod, man, we try not to get political, but it is kind of funny, and everyone could agree that Donald Trump asking a dead person to thank him for a funeral is rather wild.
Yeah, a little bit.
But on the Bucket Up Pod, we always extract the lifetime commentary that everyone can relate to. So we're talking about when people say thank you and the proper times on which to say it, when to say it, how to say it, how quickly to say it. Ty, I had a funny interaction last night that I probably should have used the word thank you, but I was rather confused and I just left it rocking. So what happened was I went to Chiba Hut after the broadcast, and you know how when you hold the door open for somebody, you kind of just do it just to be nice. So if you're within the vicinity, you're not gonna just like stand there all day. So I did that, but then we kind of started walking in the same direction. And there was that like awkward, like, oh, okay, going this way too, got it. And then my car was like shortly in front of him, so I kind of was like, oh, wait, waiting for you to pass me up, and I walked past him, and then his car was next to me, so I was like, oh, excuse me, you're coming through, got it. And we're both like awkwardly about to get into our cars, and then when somebody, it felt good for once, because when somebody says something and they kind of half-ass it, and then it comes out like really under, like really soft spoken.
Yeah.
And you kind of can feel like, they didn't mean to ask me that, And as we're walking into our cars, he goes, Happy Easter. And I just looked at him. I was like, all right, I'm just getting in the car. And I drove away. So I should have said thank you, because I was like, real talk, thank you, man. I haven't been, told to have a happy Easter in a while.
Right, but it's just random, right?
Yeah.
And Easter's like a couple like weeks away.
Right. That's always another thing. I was like, I don't even want to stop and ask questions. I don't care.
You don't care, like I don't care to talk to you, like cool.
Right. So yeah, man, thank you's weird. It's kind of hard to thank somebody for your funeral.
Yeah, he was wild. I was just more the thing that happens to me is obviously when somebody does something for you, and it's like if you're never gonna see that person again, like somebody holds the door for you, just say thank you right at that moment. You know what I mean? But like the thing that like I have trouble with sometimes is like the shit that lingers. Like you go over to somebody's house for dinner, and they made you dinner, but like so you start eating the dinner, but like when is the right time to say thank you? Like you say like once you get your plate, should you say it like you know what I'm saying later on, like in the night, or should you say it like when you leave? Like oh thanks for having us, dinner was great. You know what I mean?
I think the one thing about thank yous, you play it safe and just double down. Give extras.
Just give extra. Well, see, that's the thing. Like the thing that's funny is like I'll be in the middle of that, and I'm like, obviously I'm gonna say thank you, but every now and then Katie is like, "Oh, Ty, make sure you say thank you." Like, yeah, I'm gonna say thank you.
Yeah, I'm cooking on it. Hold on.
Yeah, like you don't have to remind me, but I'm like, damn, did I not say it in a respectable time or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, what's funny is like it depends. Like if someone's cooking for me, I'll just be like, "Oh, damn, this looks fire, man. Thank you," and then I'm eating it. Then that's it. And then later in the night, if we're like switching to dessert, I'll be like, oh man, dessert too? That's crazy. Thanks for dinner. So that's 2. I'll let it go. And then right before we leave, I Ty, yo, man, we about to roll out, dude. Thanks for dinner again. That shit was fire. 3 out. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. You triple down on it. See, that's why I'm like, I'm trying to only say it one time. That way it seems me, but I'm like, it's not like I don't think most people are just sitting there like, wow, I can't believe this nigga eating my food and ain't say thank you yet. You know what I mean?
You're all passive aggressive, like, how's the potatoes? I bet you they would taste better if you said thank you.
But it's like, bro, I'm gonna say, like, you gotta give me like I ain't even leave yet. Like, it'd be one thing if I left and didn't say thank you yet.
What if the reverse of that? You like hyped it up for something simple. You're like, say I had you over for dinner, and you're like, yo, Jesse, I got something to tell you later though. Just hold on. I'm like, all right, bet. And then later, I'm like, what'd you say, bro? You're like, oh, thank you. I'm like, damn, you had that coming. I didn't see that coming.
Load it up. I know that people feel. I know, like I've seen on like sitcoms or whatever about people caring about getting thank you notes when they give people gifts for like Christmas or like wedding gifts and shit. But I'm like, why? Like, if I said thank you at the wedding, I don't need to send you. I'm like, I don't. You know what I mean? If you said thank you to me while in front of me as I like at the wedding, you know what I'm saying? You say thank you for coming, thank you for bringing the gifts. Like, I don't need you to send me a fucking note in the mail saying thank me, and I'm not gonna get mad about it.
Well, we talked
You know?
about this on the pod, many moons ago about the Christmas cards and Hanukkah cards and stuff like that. Like, how long do you
Yeah,
keep them for? Thank you cards are kind of wild because it's like I send people a gift, and then they send me back the card like, "Yo, thank you for that gift," and it's like, "Well, yeah, that's the reason I sent it." But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the people. I kind of have like a certain group of people that I know I'm expecting a thank you card from if I send them something.
and then would you be salty if you didn't get one?
No, I don't care
Yeah,
about those.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But some people like, wow, you're not gonna. But I'm just like, I would never.
Well,
And
we actually that's funny, dude. Getting back to that, that's what we were talking about. Would you do a favor for somebody just to expect something back, or are you doing the favor to just do the favor?
right, it's not. It sucks too because everything's kind of like a reciprocation thing. Because like somebody gets me a gift for my birthday, and I'm like, shit, I gotta get them a gift for their birthday. You know what I mean? I'm never
Yeah,
like,
that's human nature, though.
right. I never feel like, oh, okay, they got me a gift, and like, even though it seems more like I know I'm giving them a gift because they got me a gift. Like it's not that I don't want to get them a gift because if I really didn't, I still would just be like, well, not
That's
getting them a
funny.
gift, you know?
That's funny as shit because you're right as fuck. Because people will be like, "Yo, check out this gift I got Ty. What is it? Oh, it's a Suns jersey. You know he's into the Suns. Like, oh, that's really nice of you. I'm like, yeah. Well, I mean, he got me something for my birthday, so.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, oh, so that's why you got it for him.
They're like, well, yeah, and yeah, like I think it
Cool.
also has to be like because the first person to do it, I've like just gotta give them props because they were like, oh, you decided that we were at the level of friendship that we should get each other gifts. Like, you know what I mean? And now I have to, unless I literally didn't think that we were that level of friends, and I'm like, nah, fuck that. I don't care. You gave me a gift, which would be a real dick move. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
have to get you a gift back, or else that's saying something that's real fucked up. You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah. So with
But
that,
like,
I don't know.
I'm easy as hell. Just give me a bottle of Henny, and I'm like, all right, thanks, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, I say I'm pretty appreciative. Yeah, I don't even know the word. I'm
Appreciate
pretty.
it. Yeah, I don't need you to do anything. Like, if you just show up to like the party that I'm having or some shit, I'm
Well,
good.
I'm just so like into anything. If someone gives me a small gift, I'm like, yo, thank you. This shit's fire.
Mhm.
I mean, I got Gatorade for Hanukkah. I thought that shit was so fire.
All right,
Uh,
because people don't have to get you shit, you know.
yeah, I love just small like the trinkets and like the small like the thoughts of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, with
Some
thank
people,
you.
some
I
people
don't know.
bougie with it though. I don't know if you got anybody in your family like that are bougie with gifts. Like I got people in my family that are like, oh, if you can't give me something big, don't even bother. You
Uh,
know what I mean?
I have some people that are kind of like, oh, if you want, I can put your name on this. I'm like, why? Because the shit that I'm about to come up with is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, right.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about thank yous. I think I'd rather have the person enjoy something and not say thank you than not like it and just say thank you just to tell me thank you.
Oh yeah.
So if someone's like, "Oh wow, you got me this fucking basketball," and then he's hooping with the basketball all the time, I'm like, "All right, well he didn't say thank you, but he's using the shit."
Right, right. Or like you get them a T-shirt and you see them rocking the T-shirt all the time.
Yeah, and I'm
And it's like,
like,
oh,
yeah,
so like they
yeah.
obviously fuck with the T-shirt,
And
you
they're
know?
thankful for it. They don't know how to express it. Otherwise, they're like, "Oh, you got me a SpongeBob t-shirt. Thank you." And
Right. You
then
never see it ever
yeah,
again.
you never see it. I'm like, that was fake.
Right.
So same with things. It's like if I cook for someone, they don't say thank you, but they smash the food. I'm like, hey, they liked it.
All right. Exactly. And like maybe they just slip their mind. Now people aren't being like ungrateful,
Yeah.
unless it's like a pattern, if it's somebody who literally never says thank you for anything.
Well, it's funny. It's funny because like I don't know. Like for example, there's little things like with weed. I'll have friends not so much come over that much over here anymore, but I have like my roommates' friends that smoke weed, and if they come through and they're like, "Oh, you mind if I take a bong rip, man?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah, here, go for it." I'm not like sitting there like, "You gonna say thank you?" It
Yeah.
doesn't change. I'm just like, "Yeah, go for it, man." What's the point of me asking or saying yes to something and then expecting you to be like, "All right, now give me credit for allowing you." Like that's what pretty much I think is.
Right. Especially if you like. I mean, I know there's like social norms and etiquette and shit, but you out here that salty. If you were really that salty about it, like Like, damn, were you even really trying to be generous, bro? Like, if everything fell apart on whether or not I said thank you. Now, it's one thing if people are super ungrateful about it, like, oh yeah, like little kids, that do kind of irk me. Like, they get a new toy and they kind of just like, oh okay, like nah, bro, like you better say thank you with your little ass,
Right.
But like, I like adults, if it's like, dog, you don't never say anything when I do anything nice for you, you know what I'm saying? Like that would be annoying. But if like, it might have slipped your mind one time, then it's whatever.
Yeah. I think one time I got in a fight, not a fight, like a argument with a friend because I told him to like pick me up one time because I was drunk instead of asking him. And like now looking back, I was like, yeah, he was right for getting mad at me, but he still should have picked me up, Or he did, but I was just like, yo, you gotta get me, fam. I'm wild drunk,
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like, yo, you need to pick me up right now,
No, I get that.
Yeah, it was just like the wording of it,
No, I get that for sure.
Is that a shirt with a name tag, bro?
What you talking about?
Behind you?
Oh yeah. It's it says like, hello, I'm trying my best.
That's funny. But yeah, so like I don't know, where are you with thank yous? Like, have you what was some of the last things that like you've done for somebody? I mean, I know you do the carpool.
Yeah, but we're not, because like everybody drives every week, so it's not like, yo, thanks for driving this week. You know what I mean? Because like everybody kind of pitches in. It's not like, I don't know. I mean, usually it's like, I go get something. Like I'll get Katie something to eat, and she'll just say thank you or something.
Last night in the broadcast, I got to speak. Shout to Coach Love. I got to do an interview with him, and I was explaining to him. He thanked me for being part of the league and doing the broadcast. And then I said to him, I was like, well, no, thank you guys, because if you guys weren't playing, I wouldn't have anything to broadcast. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, so thank you more. And then I was laughing. I was like, well, no, I didn't mean like a competition. Like, no, thank you more, man. I win. So
yeah.
And then he was laughing. And I was like, yeah, nah, we good,
Yeah, that's like the verbal version of like when you try to let somebody go in front of you, and then they also they're like, nah, you go. And you're like, nah, one of us got to go.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was laughing about that. And then sometimes it's like when you thank somebody, are you, trying to just show how nice you are and like your manners, or are you truly appreciative of what that person just did to you? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which is like, if people actually, I think people can tell by how people vibe. Like if somebody's really a dick, it don't matter how they, it don't matter if they said thank you or not. Like if they were a dick about it, or they were like kind of like, oh, thank you. You're like, hey, bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like it don't matter how the hell they said that shit. I mean, it doesn't matter, if they said it or not. Like your demeanor, how you take shit, also matters too.
Well, what about I know you get a lot of compliments for your hats and t-shirts and shit, but do you get any weird like compliments, like similar to my Happy Easter shit? Like, have you gotten any of that recently?
I feel like I get that all the time. I don't know what to do when people compliment me.
Right? I'd rather have someone talk shit.
Right? Because, usually people's like, oh, yo, I like your shirt. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But, like, if that's the end of it, that's cool. But then when people start, like, going into, like, oh, where'd you get it from? And I'm like, oh, the internet, Like, because I'm like, I'm not about to specifically try to remember what site I got this shit off of and, like, this and that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and then I'm like, it's a weird thing where somebody compliments you and you're like, should I compliment them back? You're like, but does I feel like I'm just complimenting them because they complimented me?
Yeah, that's true. I try not to do that. If someone says like, yo, nice shoes, I get that a lot at the gym, you know what I'm saying? And when that happens, I'm like, oh, word, thanks, bro. Like, I'm not just like, oh, yeah, I like yours too. Like, that's
right. Because it seems like it's not genuine. But at the same time, like, I do kind of feel like a dick. Like, damn, I ain't say shit about them. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know. It's not like I don't ever compliment people and not. Because I think when you go to compliment somebody, you're like, oh, yo, I like, usually I'm like, oh, I like your ensemble, Like, and then I'm not expecting to be like, oh, yeah, I like yours too. Like nah, it ain't got to be all that,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't handle compliments well, unless it's like something I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing a hat that I like today, or especially if I'm wearing the Bucket Up t-shirts that you can get, hit us up, we can get that to you.
Yeah.
But if I wear my like own brand shirt, then I like the compliments and stuff like that. Because I'm like, oh, word, you like this? Cool, appreciate that. You know, if it's someone else's brand, I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool.
Right. You ever been like hit on and you're like you don't know what the hell to do?
I mean, yeah, it's a daily problem. No, I will say, back when I used to work at the cell phone store, like old ladies really liked me, so they would say stuff like, "Oh, can I have your eyelashes included in the sale?" And I'm like, I don't know, you know, I don't know what that means, Sally, you know. But
Right.
yeah, old ladies say stuff like that. It's kind of double standard, but what's funny is like, you know, with dudes that try to yell out the windows at girls, you know, catcalling or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of times where I used to park my car at the light rail station, and because I live close to it, and then I just walk back, you know, to get my car. And some days in Arizona, I would just walk with my shirt off to get the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of times, these girls honked and like catcalled me,
Yeah.
but because it was like so rare, I kind of like embraced it. It was like, "Woo, yeah,
Right. You're like, hey, but like
yeah,
obviously there is some shit that happen all the time when you're just like wearing regular clothes.
right,
You'd be like,
exactly."
yeah, this is annoying as hell.
And not trying to, and my only option is going down the street when I chose to do this, you know.
Right, exactly. A
Uh,
little bit different. It's weird. I think every dude's got hit off by older ladies or something. Cause like
right.
that's what I remember just working at Home Depot, and like this like 40-some-year-old black lady was like she just came through and she needed help and she was like, "Oh, you fine?" I'm like, I don't know what to do with that at all. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you need help with something though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I one time was at Sprint, and these two like sassy black ladies was like, "I got a question for y'all." I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "Do you gotta be fine to work here?" And I was like, can I? Yeah, like same shit. Can I help you? You know? And her
Right.
friend was like, "Sister, I'm saying," and then they just like walked out, and we're like, "Wait,
Right.
do you need okay?"
Yeah, like,
So
all right, cool, I guess. You know what I mean?
yeah, that was one time. Another time, yeah, an old lady was like, "I didn't listen to one word you said. I was stuck looking at your eyelashes." And I'm like, all right, like pay attention, lady. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Um,
funny. Like, yo, like eyes, you gotta, focus, fam. I don't know what
or I
the
was a camp counselor one time, and one of the moms of like I was like I camp counseling like
Mm-hmm.
7-year-olds or some shit. And the mom came up to me. She's like, "Hey, my daughter has a crush on you." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "We got a goldfish last night, and she named it Jesse." I was like,
Oh, that's wild.
"That's fire." I was like, "I've always wanted to be a goldfish." So like, then like it was funny because like when we had art class, she would just be writing my name with like hearts on it and stuff. And I was
It's
like, "Well, she is spelling my name right, so I appreciate it that, you know."
like weird and it's like creepy and you're like, whatever, gotta let her get her crush off, I guess.
You know what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean? That's
But
wild.
yeah.
It's funny because like that don't happen. Like you don't hear about that too much with like girls our age because it's like if a girl actually thinks you're attractive, she's not about to say shit. Because girls shoot their shot with their mind.
Right. I mean, I think
It's
as
only
we
older ladies who are like, I ain't really got shit to lose, right? You know what I'm saying by saying shit. But it's like girls our age are like, yeah, they'll tell their friend or something, but they're not about to say that shit out loud to you.
yeah, like shouts to The Office when Kelly's like, Daryl tells me exactly what's on his mind. What kind of game is that? She's like,
Oh
who?
yeah,
She's like, who tells somebody exactly what they're thinking?
right, exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, shouts to that man. I have those daily arguments with my roommates about the pursuit of the opposite sex and or same sex, whatever they're into. Um, about how if a girl likes you, she won't tell you, but you'll know.
Yeah, they
That's
try to give you a bunch of like cues,
yeah,
which
that's a
obviously
weird dynamic, right?
it sucks because it's like if you I got a homie who like he says he just sucks at reading those cues. So, but I mean, like I feel like most people can tell, but you can't keep her over overt. Like if she's texting you a lot, like people don't have to. And nowadays, especially now, there's so many things people can be doing other than talking to your ass.
And
That
girls,
like if a girl's going out of her way to talk to you, dude, then she probably like she probably likes you. Now if you're the one like pushing the conversation, maybe not. But if it's all her, then yeah.
A girl gets talked to like 20 times a day. So if she actually reciprocates conversation to you, then she's interested, right? Another thing is what's funny is girls and girlfriends, like the girls' friends are funny as shit because like a dude will be like, "What's up, Becky? Like, you want to hang out sometime?" And she'll like that dude and be like, "I don't know, maybe, LOL." And then he'll like mess up, and then he'll like run into the girl's friend, like 3 of them later, and they'll be like, "Billy, are you dumb? Like, she's obsessed with you. How don't you know that?" It's like, are you kidding me? I messaged her. She don't even say nothing.
All right, exactly.
Like, how am I the out of pocket one?
Everybody trying to be cool. Yeah. Which is like, it sucks too, because obviously there's times where people are just dumb and they misread the signals. It's like, yo, just because you said something to her and she said thank you, don't mean that you got the green pass, my guy.
And like, you meet a chick after the whole like playing like you're not interested and then you are interested, that type shit. You're just like, hey, so were you interested like a month ago? It's like, yeah. Like, well, why didn't you fucking say something? Christ.
Right? Nah, that's not how it works, bro. I told you they shoot their shots. Yeah. Their mind. That's why I'm glad I've been in a relationship for 10 years. Sounds like a lot of mind games going out here.
Dude, it's so weird. It's like imagine you approached food like that. You're like, yo, I'm hungry, right? But I can't eat these wings yet. I gotta wait till I pretend I don't want these wings. Then I'm gonna eat the wings.
I gotta wait till the wings come to me.
You know what I'm saying? And I gotta wait for the wings to give me clear signals on when it's go time.
Right.
But so, yeah, it's confusing, man. But
super complicated.
It's overrated too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, people overthink shit fully. They're like, yo, what if she doesn't find my joke funny? It's like, yeah, that's a lot of people, fam. Like,
has there been times where you thought you were getting flirted with and you had no clue? And or you thought you might get flirted with, but you're like, nah.
Yeah. There is restaurants, that I learned my lesson as I gotten older. I learned my lesson. You never hit on a girl or ask a girl's number at a restaurant. Yeah, they're just trying to be nice to you, Yeah, there was a time this girl was giving me free food, so I was like, yo, she likes me. And then I asked her out and she told me she had a boyfriend. So
yeah, see, that's what. But I think it's not just us, because it's funny. I go to this place called Chronic Tacos all the time, and I went there one time, and this chick that works there, she just like gave me free food, and I was like, I think I talked about it on the pod. I was like, oh okay, and like I never really noticed, but she was like friendly when I like came in, and then I went one time with Katie, and then I told her that I was like, oh, that's the girl that gave me free food. She was like, oh, it's because she likes you. Well, you know what I mean? And she was like and then the girl was trying to like talk to me, and like Aubrey and Katie were like, ooh, who this girl?
That's funny. I mean? Girls are always like that, bro.
Right. And it's like, y'all just saying that just because, like, I don't think that's what it was. But like, we went there last time and she didn't say shit to me.
Right. So, exactly. Yeah. Girls only like dudes when they have other girls, man. It's weird.
At least that's what it feels like. And it's like, that's probably what you tell yourself, like, oh man, I can't even do anything right now.
I will say there was one time in my past life when I dated, I went out to a restaurant and the girl that was the waiter was like way too much, like way too friendly to me. And it made the girl I was with like really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's wild.
And it was just funny because I was like, damn, y'all cutthroat. Like, she was really like rubbing me on my neck and stuff. Like, do you need an extra water and stuff? And the girl was like, who is this bitch touching you like that? And I was like, fam, I don't know this girl like that, And and then like there was a couple of times where she would just like call me sweetie and shit like that. And oh man, the other girl was not having it. And I'm like, fam, I was like, I've come to this restaurant before and I've never gotten this love, this type of service. So I was like, nah, they're only doing it because girls is just jealous, bro. Chris Rock had a saying about that, like if I met like Katie, right, and I was single, and I'm like, yo, Katie's a real nice girl. She's pretty. I need to get me a girl like her. She's a teacher. She's educated. Shouts to that. Shouts to Ty, man. He's got a good woman. Girls reverse. A girl meets you through Katie, right? And they're like, damn, I want Ty, and I'll slit Katie's throat to get him.
That's crazy. That kind of be how it is.
Yeah, like, girls want you, Ty, not a guy like you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's wild. Yeah, that's funny.
That's so
I
funny.
do think that, and that's probably why, because girls know how other girls think that, like, because I think everybody, if you got a girlfriend, she's been jealous at some point.
Well, it's funny because every dude's also been friend zoned, and it's funny as shit. It's like when a girl tells a dude, like, "Man, I wish I could find a guy just like you." It's like
Yeah.
I am a guy just like me.
All right, you single as hell, and you're like, nigga, what?
Did you see the new level of friend zone
What was
where
it now?
the girl told the dude, "If we have kids, I want them to get married."
Wait, what?
Like I want my kid to marry your kid.
So it could be kind of like a family, weirdly.
Yeah, but we're just friends.
It's like, bro, what?
It's like, damn, like she's like, maybe your generation and my generation will, get into each other, but there's no way we are. She's like friend zoning him for an entire generation.
Right, friend zoning him, but like letting his kid have a green light.
It's so funny, dude.
Damn, bro, that's rough. I don't know what to do.
It's
Hey,
like
bro.
Laura telling Urkel, like, all right, well, if you have like a clone machine, maybe we can do this. But
Right, but and to me, it's like, I think it should be. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that, because it's like part of me is like, hey, if you started off and you like the girl and she's just getting you friendship, just accept it off the get, and don't try to, like, slowly, because it just don't work out. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you guys were both mutually just friends, like for real, like y'all were just friends, and then it became a relationship later on. Like, that's cool, but like I feel like the girl can tell when it's like you like her. Like, they just, there's nobody in friend zone that don't really know in the back of their mind that they friend zone somebody.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty evident, and it. I don't know how thick these walls are, but some of my roommates don't know how to pick up the hints that girls they try to get involved with put down pretty evidently.
Yeah.
And but
Again, that's why I'm glad.
yeah,
So I ain't have to worry about any of that wild shit.
right. Nah, it's funny though, man. I enjoy people watching and hearing about people's relationships. I don't really care, obviously, but it's funny when people are like, "Yeah, we're fighting right now." I'm like, "Over what?" They're like, "Yeah, something simple." I'm like, "All right, bet."
Right? You don't even try to get into it. Especially if I was like, you're not about to be over here telling me about how like somebody don't like you. If like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with it. We just friends. But like,
What's funny is
damn.
people. You ever have somebody ask you for advice and then they ask you or they tell you pretty much they ask you just because they want to hear what they want to hear, not the truth.
Yeah.
So you're like, yo, so this girl I met like last week, right? I texted her once and she ain't texted me back since. What do you think that means? And you're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's into it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Well, then you just a hater, bro. What you know? You've been dating for 10 years, like shit.
Like, bro, it don't matter how long I've been dating. I can tell.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, okay, you can tell. You're not out here in these streets, so you can't tell shit, bro. It's like, yo, you asked me.
Like, bro, I think it's pretty obvious if you text somebody and they don't text you back that they not fucking with you.
I'm like, oh, so you texting other girls? You're like, I didn't say that. I'm like, all right, bet.
Like, I think it's just very like if you text me and I don't text you back at all, I mean, I did not care about you. Right. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if I come back like, oh shit, I was doing something. I think somebody said that like
2 years later.
Right? 2 years later. But like if I come back later in like an hour or two, like, yeah, my bad. I wasn't really like checking on my shit. Like I actually saw a thing is like if a girl tell you she's a bad texter, like, nah, bro, you just ain't got it.
Or she's texting other dudes that she likes more first.
Right, because if she fuck with you, she gonna text you back. Right. Like, to me, I don't be on my text like that if like because like the only person who's gonna text me a lot is Katie. And if I'm with Katie, like I'm usually not checking my phone that often. Like, you know what I'm saying? For too much shit. So I might forget to text somebody back because I'm like, nobody I don't text back is gonna yell at me. Except Katie. So like if it isn't Katie, then I'm really not that concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like unless it's like my mom or my grandma or some shit. And so yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not like overly concerned about it. But like again, if she's supposedly single and you single and you hit her up and she don't text you back for hours and you're like, oh, I'm just really bad at texting, like, nah, fam, you just ain't got the juice.
Yeah, or she's screenshotting your conversation to all her girlfriends, like, oh, how do I dead this?
Right, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know. That shit is just wild. I mean, I know one girl that I went to high school who was actually bad at texting, and like I knew because like
She had a sidekick.
no, she did that shit to everybody, and like you look at her phone and it'd be like 90 missed messages because she just did not care about that shit. Like I usually the
why do
only
you
one
even
who
have a
actually
phone
better texting. Right. I'm like, you the only because she just was like she was like ADD, so she was kind of like her attention span was like very short. And so like if she went and did something else, she'd just forget about everything else.
Yeah, I know homie like that. He like never checks his phone, and like we're
Mhm.
just like, how do you hear about these parties if you never check your phone?
Right. He knows when he floats in when he needs to.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think we have arrived. Brr, brr, brr. Favorite time of the week. I always gotta come through with the old school. Um, you know, and it's kind of funny, man. This is gonna be a unique. You're gonna laugh at this. It's a unique song of the week. I'm not even going with one song. I'm going with a whole soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
So last night, man, we were talking about, besides March Madness, the beauty of March Madness is that anything could happen. Your brackets can get busted. Been pretty linear so far in the first couple rounds, but anything could happen. And then yesterday's I'm broadcasting Saturday football, pointing out that the best movie for the fact that anything can happen in sports is Any Given Sunday.
Hey.
Even though Any Given Saturday is the motto in my league. We're gonna go with the soundtrack of Any Given Sunday.
What? The whole soundtrack, huh?
Shouts to Jamie
Wow,
Foxx
bro.
and Any Given Sunday. I'm probably gonna throw that on TV today.
Yeah, I
So
mean
yeah,
it's a
man.
great movie.
And the
Shout out to
entire soundtrack.
like what's
LL
the
Cool
name?
J.
Will it
Yeah,
be me? I keep
yeah, Willie
delaying.
Beeman, LL Cool J was on that shit. But yeah, shouts to Any Given Sunday.
Think you can defeat me? You dreaming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Willie Beeman.
All right. So my songs of the week. It's kind of hard for me to choose one. There's a couple albums that dropped. Nav dropped an album, and I don't know if you've ever heard me complain about Nav, but like Homeboy is not very good at rapping. He's basically like Indian Post Malone if Post Malone was worse somehow.
Damn.
And so I don't really, I listen to the songs with features on it, and I don't even remember most of the songs. So that's just my review of that album. Um, then Rich the Kid, who's he's not that great of a rapper, but he's definitely better than Nav. He had an album come out, and usually he had an album come out. I think it's the same. It was named the same. Like, the fuck is the name of the album? See, it's not great that I don't remember this shit. But yeah, so he dropped one. It was cool. The features on there are cool, which is like if you can listen to a Rich the Kid song, usually you need a feature on there. But he got to jump on there with Young Thug. That's pretty fire. And they got it sounded like they got a recorder on the beat, which is crazy. Because I remember learning recorder when I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, I never learned that shit. I would just pretend at the concerts, but we good.
Mm-hmm. So definitely check that out. But my songs of the week, Megan Thee Stallion's been blowing up of recent. A lot more people been listening to her. You're getting all the hot takes of all these female rappers do is talk about their pussy, but like nobody cares when it's like regular dude rappers talking about their dick all the time, or like getting or like fucking bitches or whatever. But let a girl talk about her vagina, and it's like like ask her if she could read a book, and it's like, bro, the fuck up. You know what I mean?
I don't know why telling someone to suck your dick is an insult. Like, we definitely embrace that from our sexual partners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. But like, what I mean? It's like if you tell a dude, I guess, or it's like
it'd be weird though, because it's like you wouldn't want that though. It'd be a weird scenario.
Right? Like I don't actually want you to suck my dick.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, bro, like suck a dick. I think would be a better term.
Sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it's like I don't know. People try to pull the, it's sexism a little obviously, but people try to pull the these female rappers don't be rapping about anything smart, but then they go throw on like what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck they want. It's like, dude, shut the hell up.
Same with Kodak trying to get at Young M.A. That shit was weird, bro.
Yeah, that was odd because it's like it's one thing if he just like, yo, I think she's pretty, even though she's butch. Like, all right, that's whatever. Like her saying that's weird for you to say is completely in her right. Being like, yeah, dude, that's weird. And that should have been, he should have been like, hey, I just thought she was pretty and left it as that. You know what I mean? And he's all like, nah. And then you see people on Twitter, like, I mean, she a woman. She got a vagina. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it weird for a dude? And it's like, bro, it's still weird.
Yeah.
Like, she said it was weird. Like, it's okay, bro. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, she not into him. That's not what she be about. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Kodak be out here wilding. So, but either way, songs of the month, Sex Talk by Megan Thee Stallion, or songs of the week, sorry. That one is fire. I went back and listened to Pee Wee Longway. Apparently, I was sleeping on him. He had an album that dropped late last year. I went back and listened to that. But a song I really like was Fuck It, featuring Gucci Mane on it. That one bangs. And then my last one is a song called Snapchat by Young Deji. I don't really know him like that, but it got Wiz Khalifa on it, and I heard it on Wiz Khalifa's Instagram, and that shit type fire. So definitely check out those songs. I'm probably gonna put a couple of them on the pods. You might have already heard a snippet of it. You feel me?
Cool, man. Yes, I appreciate y'all, man, for the new buckets. You know, appreciate you for catching the wave. It's heavy, but you got some homework to do because we've been rocking for a couple years now, and we only gonna keep going. For the old buckets, they already know. But yeah, for the new buckets, you want to find us, Ty? Where can they find us, bro?
Yeah, make sure you hit us up on the social medias. We're the Bucket Up Podcast on Facebook. We're at the Bucket Hat Boys on Instagram, and we're at Bucket Up Podcast on Twitter. I'm not sure what the hell you're listening to us on right now, but just so you know, we're also on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Play, all that, bro. So be sure to do that. Make sure you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you fuck with us on your iPhones and shit.
And of course, man, special shouts to Sunday Scaries. We got a little special relationship in the works, in the come up. We got some things coming out. They are true homies and cool for, you know, starting up and being kind of one of the first platforms and voices of social anxiety and ways for us to conquer it, because, you know, we all got little stems of it inside, and we got to figure out ways to conquer it. But shouts to Sunday Scaries, shouts to Wade Empire, shouts to you, Ty, for putting up with me week in and week out. This is the Bucket Up Podcast, volume 78. Keep on coming, bro, because we're going to keep growing. And we got some interviews coming up in, you know, next couple of weeks. More skits, more videos, more collaborations, more growth. So again, man, for the buckets, keep following, fly with us to get flown over. You know what I'm saying?
Drip or drown too. I don't know.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, we out, baby.
Yeah, we out though. Cheer, 78.
Cheer. All right, we can do the recap. I'll hit the button. You think I did?
So we can say us rollers or us reviews, us reviews, spoilers, non-spoilers.
Yeah.
When is it a good time to say thank you?
Today's episode of the Bucket Up Podcast.
About time for lunch now.
I say, is Joelle there?
Yeah, she's sleeping.
I said the last like 4 episodes she's just been chilling. There was like one time she just came out to cut in the back. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's because it's better. It's easier than like, I don't know, driving back and forth.
No, I get you. What's up with the house search? I feel like I ain't been updated in a minute.
Yeah, my credit took a hit on some bullshit, so I've just been exercising it and trying to do that. I just got my car refinanced though, which is tight.
Nice.
I'm gonna be saving like over $100 a month on that. So I'm getting my shit in order though. So yeah, it's kind of like on the back burner right now. Like I probably won't have my own spot for the next 6 months or so.
Man, it's cool.
I mean, it's not, but it is what it is, dude. I just have these 2 baller ass TVs sitting in boxes, been waiting to use, man.
I feel like you could at least open one of them. You don't got a TV in your room, right?
No, I do. I have 3 TVs though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to decorate, have my own spot, dude. Have like my own podcast room for, you know, creation station.
I had an idea for a skit like, yo, watching us got us like this, and it's like you walking into the bathroom and you're just seeing your reflection and freaking out.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny.
All right.
And then we could do. I could do like a funny one throughout the week about saying thank you. Like I could hold the door open for someone and be like, "Yo, thank you. You're welcome."
All right. Someone holding the door super far away.
Yeah, I want to do like you saw how.
Wouldn't that be funny though? If you like somebody hold the door for you real far away, and like you don't say thank you in like before you get to the door, so they just like fucking like close it when you get there.
You know how Wade does that, his reactionary videos where there's like a video, then like the other screen is just him reacting to it.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell he edits that. That's what I need to figure out.
Yeah, he said there's an app called Pick Play Post, so I'm gonna fuck with that.
Oh, downloading that right now so I don't forget.
Yeah. Cause that one with the bra and that girl was mad funny.
Yeah. Downloaded. All right. So I got us spoilers, non-spoilers. When is the right time to say thank you?
Getting compliments that you don't know how to handle.
Not knowing what to do with compliments, maybe.
Compliments you don't. Yeah, compliments you don't. Or yeah. What'd you say?
Not knowing what to do with compliments.
Not knowing what to do with compliments. Okay, yeah, not knowing what to do with compliments, and then being friend zoned or something like that, or
yeah.
The hardships of someone liking you. Or no.
Maybe like because that kind of goes because we spawn that off the compliments because like not knowing flirting or not recognizing flirting or something like
that. Just because they're flirting doesn't mean they like you. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, being friendly isn't flirting.
Being friendly isn't friendly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true because I'd be mad friendly.
And more.
Yeah, we have more leftovers for next week. We have those 3 topics.
Yeah, we should definitely just do that. Although, I mean, that always happens that we have something left over.
Yeah, we were raised on leftovers.
Which is, I mean, it's better to have stuff to left over to talk about than not know. We come up with from scratch every week.
For sure.
So there we go. I'll say on today's episode of the Bucket Up Podcast, and then you can say we review us, spoilers and non-spoilers.
All right.
And I'll say, when is the right time to say thank you? And then you say, not knowing what to do with compliments. And then I'll say, being friendly isn't flirting and more.
Cool.
All right. On today's episode of the Bucket Up Podcast,
we review the movie Us with spoilers and non-spoilers.
When is it the right time to say thank you?
Not knowing what to do with compliments.
And being friendly isn't flirting. And more. Okay.